Once I saw that the blade adapter key had been bent and kind of ruptured, I thought, oh, I better check that flywheel key, because they've hit something hard enough to do that. That means that the flywheel key may have been bumped, which it has. It's not completely sheared, but this mower's not going to run ideally unless it does that. Let me get something that's a nice straight edge, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. See this? That's the groove that the flywheel key sits in. And if it was straight and not bumped, that flywheel key would be directly under that. And as you can see, it's been bumped. It's been bumped that way. And so this flywheel needs to come off and get that flywheel key where it's straight under, like with this little piece of wire here, it should be straight under there. In other words, it should be right there if it was lined up for that spark to arrive at the correct time. So let's get this flywheel off of here. So we're going to use the big hammer. Let me get some JB Blaster on here. Let that kind of soaking around. And I'm going to move this coil out of the way. I need a 1/4-inch socket to do that. This is what I'm doing. I scored the JB Blaster on there. You can see that it's just offset, you know. It's not a lot, but I'd like them to be perfect. So that's when your spark arrives, and you want it to be at the right time. So let's get this coil out of the way. I got my screws out, and I'm gonna take the plug off again. So that's all loose now, as you can see. I'm gonna move this coil. I think I'll bring the spark plug wire up this way. Slip it under the thermostat linkage. Get it so it's kind of hanging off over there, okay? Because I've got to get a lever under here, under that flywheel. So let's do that. Get a great big old screwdriver. It should be around here somewhere, but I'm not seeing it. I need a big screwdriver. This is not very big, but it might work. This little Craftsman screwdriver. Yeah, I'm not going to get a lot of leverage with that. I need some leverage. Okay. I got my favorite screwdriver for this, which is this one, because I can get significant leverage on that. Now, I need to, so I've got my screwdriver under there, using that engine head as a fulcrum. And now I need to put this nut on here and at least put 4 or 5 turns on it. So it's Gonna kind of protect those threads, and now I'm gonna get me a copper slug and put that right there, and then hit it with a big hammer. I've hit it once, so I'm going to turn the flywheel this way. I need to take the pressure off that engine brake. There we go. Got it clamped down now. So this is going to turn a lot easier. Get my lever back under there, and a big hammer, and hit it again. Okay, spin it 1/4 to 1/2, and hit it again. Making progress. One more. One more. There we go. So now the flywheel is loose. We can either replace or reinstall this flywheel key because it's not too damaged. And what I do is I flip it over. So I'm going to flip it over, bring that towards me, and then go the other way with it. And now I get everything lined up. With the groove. I'm going to push this thing out because I know which end I want to go in there because I'm holding it in my hand. All right, so there's my groove. All right. Now I want to show you how perfectly I have this lined up. All right. And see that groove and the notch in the flywheel? It's just like it's just right on it, maybe a little bit that way. So I'm holding my flywheel key and I put it in the groove and just kind of ease it into place there. There we go. It's starting to slide in. Using my fingernail. Here's a thumbnail. Might go a little easier. Okay, so that's lined up good. I'm going to wiggle this flywheel a little bit and push it again. There we go. Push it again. So that's going down in there good. Let me get a screwdriver and I'll push on it with that. So everything's still lined up. It's right in the center. So what I can do, let's see. It's hard to do this with one hand. Let me set the camera down. Let me show you that now. Okay, so that key is right in the center of that groove, and that should be good. So now I can put the starter cup back on, make sure that these ears go down in the grooves where they fit just right. All right, now where's my flywheel nut? There it is. So the threads are undamaged because I used a compass slug and I had the nut on there to protect them. This double insurance. I take the engine brake off. That'll provide some resistance. I've got to reinstall this flywheel key. I mean the flywheel nut. Should be good. Now I got to reinstall my coil. So I've got to work the spark plug wire under that linkage. That's where it came from. Now swing it around. Come here, Mr. Spark plug wire. There we go. And get the two screws that hold the flywheel key on. Here and here. There we go. That's looking good. That's looking good. So let me turn this by hand, get the where the magnet is there. Did you see that? Okay. Now I need two pieces of a milk jug that I cut up for this purpose. One. There's two. This little strips of a milk jug. It's the perfect size for this, and they're flexible. It's not like a business card that's going to tear on you. So swing that out, and then swing the other side out. Get those little milk jug strips in there. You can see them in there. That gives you the correct gap. Now let's tighten these up. A 1/4-inch socket. Bring that one down. Get that one where it's starting to get snug. Okay, now I'm going to go by hand strength. 1/4, 1/2, 1/4, 1/2. And now pop these out. They're resisting, so I'm going to turn the flywheel key. That'll help a little bit. Excuse me, I'm turning the flywheel. There, it pops out. Let's try this one. Move that a little bit. Well, it's hard to do with one hand, so I'm going to set the phone down and pull on this piece of milk jug strip as I turn it. There we go. So now it's out. And let's show you that. It's turning like it should. Whew. And believe it or not, I can put the spark plug back on. And we're going to try and start this mower. Well, that's in place. Let me get the rewinder on again. Actually, I want this on top of that, so let's try that. Yep, there we go. Much better. And that self-propelled cable under this. All right, here's my 3 screws. Attach that. 5/16 there. 5/16 in the back. And here. New 5/16 socket, there we go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put some fuel in here. We're going to be trying to start this mower here in a minute. Just put a little bit of fuel in there, enough to start it. We got the quick gap on the spark plug. We've cleaned our carburetor. We flipped over the flywheel key because it had just been bumped. It hadn't been damaged or sheared, which is what they're designed to do if you hit something really hard. Now, if this mower has a bent shaft, which is possible, or the adapter's spinning around because it's been damaged too much, I should know that pretty soon. So I've got the engine brake held down with that cable, excuse me, with that clamp, and we're gonna wheel this thing out here in the backyard, pull the cord, and see if we've got anything we can work with. This mower may be shaking a lot because it could have a bent shaft as hard as that hit had to be to mess with that adapter. I may end up having to change that adapter out, but we're going to see what happens. Far enough. If these things smoke, I like to get them out here away from my neighbors. All right, I'm going to pull the cord on this thing, see what happens. Amanda is running good. Self-propelled even works. Amazing. We saved Amanda.